Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby and have ourselves a drink.
All right, and with that, we are back in the lobby bar for the week of June the 9th, 2025. Brian and Michaela here with you. And Michaela, it got crazy hot out yesterday. So I was outside doing
Yep.
doing some yard work. I was going through some things. So I wanted to throw out a question to all of our listeners here. First thing, before I forget, I planted some basil a couple weeks ago, which now means that I have, I don't know, like 14 tons of basil. So drop us a note to let me know what your favorite basil cocktail is. Michaela, do you have a basil cocktail you can throw my way?
Is the basil, do you slap basil the way you slap mint to like open
Yeah,
it up?
slap
Okay.
slap everything. Yeah, just slap
Yeah.
it.
Um all right. Basil. So basil does isn't there like a honey basil I want to say there's a honey basil simple syrup that I looked up once that
Mm,
sounded
that sounds good.
amazing.
Kind of the most famous basil cocktail that I know of is like the basil gimlet, which is like a
Oh.
gin gimlet, right? It's lime and gin, and probably some simple syrup, or you could use honey. So you could certainly use some honey, basil in that. I
Mm-hmm.
think normally kind of that recipe is you just kind of muddle up a couple of basil leaves in there to
Mm-hmm.
get that basil-y essence into your drink. So I don't know. I wanted to throw that out there for everyone to see if they had some basil suggestions for me.
But anything with strawberry, like a strawberry vodka with some basil in it, that'll be great. Strawberry and
Mm,
basil are those are fast friends. They get along real well. Um, I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm gonna have to, now I'm inspired. You're gonna have to bring me basil. I will in
okay.
turn turn it into a basil honey syrup, simple syrup, and we will go from there. We'll take it to the next level.
Normally, I just like to have basil with some, mozzarella cheese, but this is drink the
Correct.
movies and and not drink the cheese. So, yeah, send me a good cocktail recommendation our way, and in turn, I will give everyone a good cocktail recommendation right now because Michaela, I don't know if you saw, but Sinners is available to stream. I think now or starting tomorrow potentially. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometime soon. We're going to be able to watch Sinners again. That's going to be amazing because I'm definitely looking forward to watching Sinners again. We talked about it over on our Patreon. If you want to get more of our thoughts on there, it's patreon.com/drinkthemovies for all the bonus content, bonus episodes, hangouts, all that stuff. So Sinners is coming out. I'm definitely excited to watch it. And I found an article on liquor.com. It actually posted like a year ago. But I just saw it here for the first time, and it's three drinks, and they're highlighting this book. It's from Tony Tipton Martin, who wrote a book about basically black cocktail history. And I was like, that's perfect because the book is called Juke Joints, Jazz Clubs, and Juice. Which I was like, that sounds like Sinners right there. For sure, we could have used this book when we were coming up with our Sinners cocktail.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. So, Michaela, one of the cocktails that they feature here in Liquor.com article is called the Clover Leaf. As opposed to the Clover Club, which is a traditional cocktail. This is the Clover Leaf. And it's very similar, I think, in a lot of ways to a cocktail that you made for everyone on our Instagram over the weekend. So go ahead and into a shaker tin. We're going to do this for the Clover Leaf. Is a half ounce of Chambord, a half ounce
Mm.
of lemon juice, 1.5 ounces of gin, and an egg white. So you can go ahead and give that a dry shake, add some ice to that, shake it again, and then strain it into a coupe glass. You get that nice little foamy top there, of course, from the egg white. It looks really pretty, and then you can garnish that with a mint leaf. So that is called the clover leaf cocktail. It's basically like a little gin kind of thing with some Chambord in there. I thought that sounded pretty good. Like I said, it
Yeah.
sounded an awful lot like what you made on Instagram. So why don't you run through that one for everyone?
Sure. It was basically the same. So it was an ounce and a half of your favorite gin. I am in love with this Orbium gin from Hendrix. It's amazing. It's the yellow one. Go get it. I don't know why I'm just so in love with it, but holy moly, it's really good.
You'd
And
better
I
you better
added,
stock up because I think they only do those Cabinet of Curiosities for like a couple months, right? And then
I
it switches over.
know. Yeah, so don't get one, Brian, because I
If
got you
anyone has
one.
a contact at
Surprise.
Hendrix Gin, send us
Tell
that with
them
your basil recommendation.
exactly that too. No, so an ounce and a half of your favorite gin, and then half an ounce of your lemon juice, and then you said you did Chambord in this. Well, in this clover leaf, you have Chambord at half an ounce. I did 3/4 of an ounce of this apricot liqueur. Now, not all apricot liqueurs are created equal. You could go spend a lot of money on them. I did not spend a lot of money on mine, but I thought it was delicious. It was pretty sweet though, so that's why you want to make sure that you use really good lemon juice, fresh squeezed lemon juice to add to the brightness and balance that out a little bit. And then
Hmm.
half of an egg white. We have discovered here at Drink the Movies that Michaela makes a giant mess when she makes cocktails. It is a thing of beauty to watch, really. Nobody, I mean, it's on the chandelier every time I make a cocktail. This particular cocktail, because you're adding a egg white into it, I always end up making a complete mess when I put a whole egg white in. And the secret is to not do that. Just use less, apparently. It will still create this creamy, beautiful effervescence inside the cocktail, and maybe it doesn't explode when you try to open it and get everywhere. So you should dry shake it in the Instagram video. I did not dry shake it. But you should dry shake it, and then you should add ice, shake it again, and make sure it's real cold. Put it into a coupe glass and drink it. This was amazing. I was so impressed with myself because I feel like I made this drink up. Apparently, I
Hmm.
didn't make it up, but at the moment, I was like, I am inspired. I really do know how to make cocktails. This is wonderful.
That's right. Yeah,
I've
no,
only been doing it for 5 years now. You know.
it sounded delicious, and I was very jealous of it when I was watching the video there on Instagram. So yeah, go check that out, and check out the apricot liqueur. We used that last week in the main episode when we talked about Call Me by Your Name. We don't have a lot of box office news here. We're recording this a day early. Some scheduling got in the way, but the Ballerina spinoff, or John Wick spinoff for Ballerina, took in $10.5 million on Friday. So pretty good showing there for that first night. And then of course you have all of the pretty good showing there for the first night, and then you still have Lilo and Stitch, Mission Impossible. They're hanging out in the top five. Of course, we'll see how that wraps up for the weekend. But there are a couple of things that I wanted to make note of here that are coming out, Michaela. How to Train Your Dragon, that's coming out this week. We're going to be seeing it and covering it on the podcast, so I don't want to get into that too much. But there's another film coming out. It's called The Materialists, and I haven't heard much about this, but listen to this, see if this sounds up your alley at all. It is a romantic comedy from A24, and it stars Dakota Johnson, who is an ambitious New York City matchmaker who finds herself torn between the perfect match and her imperfect ex. And apparently, the perfect match and the imperfect ex are Chris Evans and Pedro Pascal. Does that strike your fancy?
It sure does. Holy moly, Chris Evans and Pedro Pascal. Wow, they are two different sides of beauty, beautifulness. Oh my gosh! Not only in terms of physicality, but acting as well. Look, listen, people of all, Dakota Johnson gets a bad rap, I think. It is true. She made a choice to be in the 50 Shades of Grey. I thought she did a pretty good job
My
being that
bank would have
character.
liked that choice.
Um, I mean, people, her mom was like, I'm not gonna watch it. It's fine. Whatever. I'm just saying, I think Dakota Johnson is
Was that
actually
your
pretty
Melanie
darn
Griffith
talented.
impression?
Yeah, go watch you need to go watch the interview where she is like she's on the red carpet with her mom, and her mom's like, I'm not seeing this film. And she's like, gosh, mom, like it was real awkward. Anyway, Dakota, darling, if you're listening to this, you are brilliant and you are actually really talented. You should be very proud. I can't wait to see you in this next film. She has had some rotten luck, I think, with films that have come out. I'm looking at you, Madam Web. That's not her fault. So now, I mean, but she's up against like Pedro Pascal, for God's sakes, and Chris Evans. This is going to be amazing. I can't wait. This is going to be great. The only thing is it's probably rated PG-13, which means it's going to make me kind of sad.
That's gonna be an R rating right there from that one.
Oh, is
Like I
it?
said, coming from A24, so I imagine that it's probably going to be written
Maybe.
really
Oh,
well. So looking
heck
forward
yeah.
to that, and of course we're looking forward to How to Train Your Dragon. I don't know anything about that movie, but I'm really into this live action remake for whatever reason. I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be
Yeah, it's
great.
going to
So
be good.
look for more information on that coming to the podcast in the weeks ahead. Last week we talked about Call Me by Your Name, which we just mentioned, and this week coming up we're going to be going back 25 years, 25th anniversary. We were able to make it out to the theater to see it But Dogma is coming everyone's way this weekend. It'll be our first Kevin Smith film, so that's going to be a fun one to chat about. And we have a pretty good cocktail coming everyone's way for that. So you want to make sure you're staying tuned to get that. We have our Patreon bonus episode about Mission Impossible is up. We're going to be covering 28 Days Later later this month. So if you're wanting a preview of what we're going to be having going on over on the Patreon, you can check that out. Again, it's patreon.com/drinkthemovies, and we appreciate our patrons over there so much. But Michaela, we have busy weeks ahead. We have lots of movies to see, and now I have basil to go harvest every day until the end of summer. So I'm going to go do that. Send in your cocktail recommendations, and we'll talk to everyone next week in the lobby bar.